So, we're going to be doing a movie review for There Will Be Blood, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, starring Daniel Day-Lewis and Paul Dano as Eli. Daniel Day-Lewis was Daniel Plainsview. Um, First, loved the film. Thought it was beautiful. It's got it. It was great. Loved it. Don't need to say anything else about it. My favorite actor, I gotta give it to Daniel Day-Lewis. I thought it was great. I loved his character's portrayal. I loved seeing the build-up of the character, how he started off very mysterious. We did not know what this character was all about. We didn't know where he came from, we didn't know anything about the character of Daniel Plainsview. And I thought Daniel Day-Lewis did a great job of illustrating that to us. Almost like he didn't even know who he was in the beginning. But as it went on, just there were more reveals and his character got darker and deeper and just more full of greed and hate and just that competitive desire to put other people down and just to build him up. And just by the end of it, he's this monster that has everything and everyone else has nothing. They've lost and he's just on top alone. But it's beautiful. Loved Daniel Day-Lewis's impression. Shout out to Paul Dano, just great job as Eli. I loved the church scene. I loved when he came back and was murdered by Daniel Day-Lewis. Sorry, spoilers. Let's go into my favorite scene. Love this scene. I watched it twice. It was so good. HW is on top of the oil derrick, and the gas pocket comes up and just sends him flying. He's instantly deaf, and just the crew goes nuts. They don't know what to do. They're all panicking. Daniel Day-Lewis's character, Daniel Plainsfield, runs to get HW, brings him inside. We see the oil derrick go up in flames, and that's where it starts for me. It's just there was a lot of colors happening on the screen. There was, the reds coming off the fire. That black smoke was creating this orange light everywhere. The sunset in the background gave it that blue, and it's a beautiful shot in itself. It was really well put together. The soundtrack happening then too, just that rhythmic pounding and beating. There was no melody. It was just like those drums kind of added into our own anxiety with the situation. We didn't know if it was good or bad. We really didn't know what was happening. Just we knew that there was fire and HW was hurt. And then Daniel's character just, like he's smiling because he knows he's struck gold. He's made it. He's found all this oil. I just loved it. I thought it was beautiful. Just to point out on the soundtrack, it was done by Johnny Greenwood, who is the current guitar player for the band Radiohead. Love him. I thought he did a brilliant job with this. My favorite element of this film would have to be the soundtrack. I thought it was great. I thought it was really, really, really well done. It matched the tone of the movie. It gave it a really great flow. It was never too much or too little. It was perfect. It was really well done. Johnny Greenwood. I really like this movie. I think it gives you a lot to think about. There are a lot of messages and themes hidden throughout it. I think the biggest one is just not to be an idiot and not to trust certain people. I mean, trust people, put love in the world, make it a beautiful place, but at the same time, like, people are fucked up. And I think the character of Paul Sunday really kind of hit the nail on the head right in the beginning when he said, like, I'd prefer it if you didn't treat me like I was stupid. And that was a very true thing. Paul Sunday was not a stupid character, and he knew that Daniel's character would play him. And he knew that, like, he knew what was up, and he was playing the game. And that's something we all gotta know. Like, it's a game. Life is a game, and you gotta play the game. And that's something that this movie really helps you see and understand, that there are power struggles and the world is constantly in flux and somebody's going to win at the end of the day. We might not be involved in that competition, but like, shouldn't we be? Shouldn't we be out there trying to fight for what we want and creating these situations and these moments and just being the protagonist of our own lives? I think that's a big thing. Daniel's a really bad guy, but he knows what he wants and he's striving for it. So even though he's a bad guy, he's the protagonist. He's killing it. He's doing it. If I had to rate this movie, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Tens are just big for me. I don't really like to give out tens. I thought it was great. I really just acting was great, cinematography was great, writing, just everything. Everyone did a really great job in this film. It had a lot of passion, and it was really well done. So yeah, I loved it. Watch this movie.